What if the moments that shaped us never truly ended? In every frame, every line, every melody, they linger, quiet beacons reminding us who we are. Today, on Celebrity Tribute Hub, we pause to honor artists whose presence became home. Their voices soften the noise, their courage steadies our hearts, and their stories keep time from closing the door. Stay with us as we remember them with love, with care tonight. A single glance, a tilted smile. How could one performer make ordinary life feel extraordinary? Patricia Routledge, born February 17, 1929, gave television two indelible gifts: Hyacinth Bucket in Keeping Up Appearances and the compassionate sleuth of Hetty Wainthropp Investigates. Across a storied stage career, she carried musical wit and classical poise with effortless grace. She passed peacefully in her sleep on October 3, 2025, aged 96, after a brief illness. Beyond laughter, Routledge offered dignity, inviting us to see the humor in pretension and the courage in everyday kindness. Her characters never settled for small lives. They chased order, purpose, and love, even when the world misheard their names. In homes across generations, Patricia remains a kindly companion, precise, warm, and gently subversive. The lights dim, but her radiance keeps living where family gathers and comfort television still heals. Patrick Murray's gift was disarming humanity, the kind that slips past cynicism and lands as a smile. Born December 17, 1956, he became beloved as Mickey Pierce in Only Fools and Horses, a character whose swagger and quips hid a tender heart. On film, he appeared in Curse of the Pink Panther, carrying the same ease that made him a favorite at home. He died on September 29, 2025, aged 68, after a courageous battle with lung cancer. Murray's legacy isn't measured in headlines, but in familiarity. The S.E. meant that he might wander into a scene or a pub at any moment, ready with mischief and warmth. He reminded us that comedy can be kind, that ordinary men can be quietly heroic, and that loyalty is the punchline that lasts. In memory, his laughter still pulls up a chair and stays a while. There are screen presences, and then there is Claudia Cardinale, a gaze that could hush a room. Born April 15, 1938, she became a cornerstone of world cinema through The Leopard, Once Upon a Time in the West, and Ada Nefath, blending intelligence with incandescent poise. She died on September 23, 2025, aged 87. The cause was not publicly disclosed. Cardinale embodied independence, women who navigated history and desire with quiet command, refusing to be reduced to ornaments. Her performances taught filmmakers to trust silence, to let a close-up speak in full sentences, to believe that strength can look like stillness. For audiences, she offered a mirror, difficult truths softened by compassion, romance tempered with resolve. Her legacy is the enduring language of the face, the courage of complexity, and the promise that elegance can be revolutionary without ever raising its voice. Say his name and you hear it, that resonant hush before authority arrives. Terence Stamp, born July 22, 1938, commanded the screen in The Collector, Superman 2, and The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, proving range as vast as his presence. He passed peacefully on August 17, 2025, aged 87. The cause was not specified by family. Stamp specialized in paradox, menace with grace, vulnerability with iron, austerity with a glimmer of mischief. He taught generations of actors how to hold still and still hold everything. For viewers, he was dignity under pressure, the man who could turn a whisper into destiny. His legacy endures wherever restraint feels too ectonic, where a single measured glance changes the room, and where craft, carried carefully, becomes a lifelong vow to truth, forever. Some stars reflect light. Robert Redford generated it. Born August 18, 1936, he gave us immortal adventures with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and the Sting, then changed the industry by founding the Sundance Institute and Festival, a home for independent voices. He died in his sleep on September 16, 2025, aged 89. Redford's gift was purposeful storytelling, heroes uncertain yet honorable, landscapes that felt like moral tests. On both sides of the camera, he made integrity cinematic. He encouraged new filmmakers to risk tenderness, to interrogate power, to trust craft over noise. His legacy endures in every small film that dares big, in the idea that art and conscience can share the same heartbeat, and in the belief that charisma is most luminous when it lifts others gently forward. Before the catchphrase, there was the kindness. Polly Holliday, born July 2, 1937, became unforgettable as Flo on Alice and the spin-off Flo, turning a single line, "Mel, kiss my grits," into a national wink. On film, she made a deliciously memorable turn as Mrs. Deagle in Gremlins. She died on September 9, 2025, aged 88, from complications of pneumonia. Holliday's comedy never punched down. It invited you in, poured coffee, and offered a little rebellion with the sugar. She made working-class wit feel heroic and female friendship feel like a force. Decades later, her voice still sounds like a hometown radio station, warm, mischievous, and impossible not to love. Her legacy lives wherever humor protects tenderness, and where a diner's door swings open on hope, mercy, and second chances. We remember her. Some performers are the thread that quietly holds scenes together. Paula Shaw, born July 17, 1941, brought empathetic presence to Freddy vs. Jason, The X-Files, and Supernatural, shaping moments that fans carried with them. She died on September 10, 2025, aged 84, after a long illness, passing peacefully in her sleep. Shaw's work proved that supporting roles can feel like home, a glance that calibrates the temperature, a voice that steadies the room. She gave genre storytelling a human pulse, meeting fear and wonder with believable tenderness. Beyond credits, her legacy is the compassion she modeled, an invitation to treat small parts with big care, to honor the craft even when the frame is brief. Audiences who spotted her felt seen themselves, and that quiet magic endures wherever storytelling asks for heart. Once, French cinema looked across a café and found Jacques Charrier, effortless, curious, alive. Born November 6, 1936, he starred in Les Dragueurs and A Very Private Affair, capturing the restless charm of a new generation. Also a painter, he treated life as an atelier, studying light and temperament with equal attention. Charrier died on September 3, 2025, aged 88. The cause was not stated. He was a reminder that artistry is a way of being, not just a resume, to move through the world alert, open, and attuned to nuance. His films felt like windows, not mirrors, inviting us to look outward with appetite and grace. His legacy endures wherever elegance chooses curiosity, and where romance belongs to the truly observant. In galleries and on screens, he practiced attention, the rare discipline that makes ordinary afternoons feel like revelations. The quiet ones teach endurance. Graham Greene, born June 22, 1952, carried extraordinary stillness through Dances with Wolves, Thunderheart, and The Green Mile, shaping characters with honesty and cultural depth. He died on September 1, 2025, aged 73, from natural causes following a long illness. Greene's performances rejected caricature. They affirmed humanity, responsibility, and the weight of history. He showed how a pause can be a prayer, how restraint can thunder, how generosity can refocus a scene around truth. To audiences and younger artists alike, he offered a way forward. Represent with integrity, listen harder than you speak, carry your community with respect. His legacy lives in fuller stories for Indigenous characters, in mentorship that opens doors, and in the durable knowledge that dignity on screen can change real lives. Creativity can feel like a bright room. Brad Everett Young kept turning on new lights. Born July 24, 1979, he worked as an actor and became widely known for portrait photography, notably the Dream Loud campaign celebrating artists and arts education. He died in a wrong-way car crash on September 14, 2025, aged 46. Young's portraits were more than images. They were conversations, little celebrations of personality and joy. He made celebrities look like neighbors you'd root for and friends you'd remember. The work insisted on optimism, on noticing spark where others saw routine. His legacy continues wherever creative communities gather to support one another and where education keeps wonder alive. In every captured grin and defiant pose, there's a reminder. Art is a promise that tomorrow can be kinder. we carry that promise forward. Thank you for sharing this time of remembrance with Celebrity Tribute Hub. The journeys we honored today remind us that art is a shelter and kindness its language. If these stories touched you, please like, share, and subscribe to help keep their legacies alive. Join us again as we remember with care, celebrate with gratitude, and carry their light into our everyday moments together.